Something obvious might be going on, and it's that the vehicles we drive are changing. At first it used to be, well, just the same style of car, either with a secure trunk or no trunk space at all, or maybe a tiny little bed. And then we started to differentiate that with a sedan and then a pickup truck. And then we got the van and the station wagon and all sorts of other variants. But there's a dying breed of cars out there that, I don't know if you noticed, it's kind of sad to see go. Despite that not many people really like them that much, they're actually more important than you think. Here's why. So obviously what I'm referring to is the sedans. The sedan market is really shrinking. How do we know this? Well, first of all, Ford has gotten rid of their sedans by now and is all in favor of SUVs. Cadillac is in the process of getting rid of a couple sedans. Buick has pretty much only been keeping the Regal around, which is sad because I really like the LaCrosse and they got rid of the LaCrosse. And then Chevy got rid of the very popular nameplate Impala as well as the Cruze. So yeah, sedans are definitely dying, considering that all the nameplates I mentioned, Fusion, Focus, CTS, I mean, sedans are just dying in general. They're not as popular as they once were because of crossovers. And the reason for that is because, well, generally, people prefer the up high off the road driving position. To be honest, I don't. I prefer to get down low as close to it as I can. And then also the practicality, because you get a much bigger cargo space since you're not limited to just, well, the top of the seat's height. Instead, you get all the way up to the roof. So, well, yeah, sure, nicer driving position and cargo space, that actually has been enough to sway people over. Other reasons include a third row option, which was the reason why my parents got an SUV in the first place, so we can get a third row. And the reason why they all love that is because, well, the minivan isn't cool anymore. I made a video about why they should be. Might want to go watch that. So yeah, SUVs have definitely been taking over as of late, because you can now get one even smaller than a compact sedan, to my surprise, to as large as a pickup truck. And despite that, sure, they only take away a couple fuel economy points because, well, it's a slightly larger vehicle, which means you need more power and more fuel to move that slightly larger vehicle. Most people just think it's better to get an SUV because, well, crossovers and SUVs, they've got the practicality and the driving position they like. So that's really what's eating all the sedan sales. But, well, sure, it does practicality and driving position better than a sedan. There's still reasons why a sedan might actually be a better choice than an SUV, just like a sedan was a better choice for me than an SUV. So why might a sedan might be a better choice for you compared to a crossover or an SUV? If you're budget conscious and you're using a daily commuter car from just to get yourself from work or home to work or home, wherever you're going, like if you're really just commuting by yourself or maybe a couple other passengers, well, first of all, what do you bring with you? A briefcase? Because when I go to work, all I bring is a briefcase. And when I go shopping, well, I don't know why people seem to have forgotten this, but does it really matter how high your trunk is if when you're grocery shopping, you just have bags of groceries that usually you don't pile on top of each other? I mean, the family Yukon has this problem. We actually have better trunk space for groceries than we do in the Yukon because there's more area in there, because there's more surface area, base area, compared to what the Yukon has to offer. No, obviously you can fix that with the Yukon XL or get a compact SUV without a third row. But my point being is, when you're bringing just yourself, maybe another friend if you're carpooling or something, and a briefcase, and their briefcase, do you really need that much room? So, well, yeah, you may be compromising on room. Okay, so you can't fit a couple larger boxes or something. Well, here's the trick. As long as you live by yourself, and then again, I said it's not meant, the sedan's not meant for everyone. You'll know it's meant for you. First of all, if you live by yourself, if you do have a larger box that you can't fit in your trunk, use the back seat. I mean, you live by yourself. Who are you going to toss back there and move a giant box of whatever? I managed to fit pretty decently sized boxes in my trunk. For example, I have an iMac right beside me. You could probably fit an iMac box inside the trunk. As long as you're not trying to move a TV, and even then, I'd recommend you get a truck or a really large SUV. My only exception for the TV is if you're not having it delivered to you, rent a larger vehicle just for the trip. All you need if you're moving like a TV or something. But yeah, monitor boxes or kitchen appliances, assuming it's not a fridge. If it's kitchen appliances like a fridge or a stove, you're better off with the truck. An SUV is not going to do any good. Anywho, the point being is if you live by yourself, you're kind of better off with the sedan because you're not going to be moving that many people around. Another reason why you should get a sedan is this is technically true as long as it's not a performance sedan. As long as it's not a performance sedan, fuel efficiency. It's generally better in a sedan because, I mean, it's not exactly as big and tall and large as an SUV, and because the size isn't exactly that big, it also means it's going to be a little lighter, which means you don't need as much power to move the car, and when you don't need that much power, you can save on fuel. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I stuck to a sedan and not an SUV. Despite that, yeah, I could have more practicality. I would like to save money on my fuel bill, especially since prices are kind of unreasonable nowadays. Other reasons is, well, maybe you do want power and performance. Well, if you want performance, you're probably going to experience it better in a lighter vehicle, that lighter, smaller vehicle, which is a sedan. Sedans usually corner better than SUVs because since SUVs are taller, that means their center of gravity is higher. Compared to a sedan, the center of gravity of the sedan is a lot lower. And also, if you're looking to buy brand new, especially, if you're trying to get the cheapest car available from any company, the cheapest is usually a sedan. Size does affect the price. The bigger the whatever it is, the pricier it is, because material basics, I mean, if you're going to make something bigger, that means you're going to need more material to make it bigger, and more material, well, it's going to cost more. So, as someone like myself, I'm the only one who's ever really in my car. It's only rare I ever have a passenger with me. Usually when I'm in my car, it's just me and a briefcase, and I'm just looking to save as much money as I can. So, yeah, if you're someone like me, a sedan might really be a better option than a crossover SUV. Sure, you're losing on practicality, but do you really need that much cargo space? Because the real advantage with an SUV, assuming it's not a third row, is the extra height in the cargo area. The only way the extra height really helps is if you're stacking things on top of each other. And let me tell you, if you're just grocery shopping, that height is not going to do you any good, otherwise you're crushing your food. So yeah, sedans still have their place, and to me it's kind of sad that they're going away because of the SUV being superior to some. But the truth is, it's really not. Sedans still have their place, and they still have a very important place to fill that SUVs just can't. So to the automakers that are still making sedans, keep it up. Please keep them coming, because they're more important than what the world really thinks they are. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.